October 2023. Deep in the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee, a trail guide named Marcus was trapped for 3 days after a storm closed in on the entire valley. Soaked lighter. Destroyed matchbox. Thermometer reading 28 degrees, -2 Celsius, and night falling fast. What saved his life was a technique an elder Cherokee taught him when he was 16. 2 branches, an old shoelace rope, 4 minutes. Fire. This same method worked in the frozen forests of Minnesota, the Arizona desert, the Oregon mountains, and it works today, right here, with what you have on hand. If this is your first time here, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any secrets the industry tries to hide. Want a number that will piss you off? The Boss Survival School, Boulder Outdoor Survival School, founded in 1968 in Utah, charges $2,380 for a 7-day course where they teach exactly this technique. The bow drill. Students arrive with backpacks full of state-of-the-art equipment and leave learning that 2 pieces of cottonwood work better than any survival kit that REI sells for $80. But you don't need $2,380. You'll learn it here. For free. And there's more. In 2022, bushcraft instructors from Missouri conducted a direct test in the Ozark Mountains. 12 participants, 2 groups, 6 with modern equipment. A waterproof UCO lighter, 18, Exotac ferrocerium, 55, and a solid fuel pellet. The other 6, only with what they found on the forest floor. The result after a night of light rain and 38 degrees. 4 of the 6 with modern equipment failed. The lighter jammed. The magnesium piece slipped from a cold hand. On the other hand, 6 out of 6, with the ancestral technique, managed to light a fire. Average time, 7 minutes and 20 seconds. This is no coincidence. The Cherokee used the bow drill on the slopes of the Appalachians more than 3,000 years ago. The Apache adapted the technique with dried yucca in the 100-degree heat of Arizona. The Ojibwe used it in the frozen forests of Minnesota and Wisconsin, where temperatures reach 20 degrees in winter. The mountaineers who crossed the Appalachians in the 18th century learned directly from the natives. They had no choice. U.S. Forest Service records from the 1930s show these techniques documented as standard survival training in the national forests of the Pacific Northwest, from Oregon to Washington. The outdoor industry would prefer you forget all that. So, what is a bow drill? It's a friction ignition technique. You use a wooden bow with string at the ends to rapidly spin a soft wooden spindle against an ignition board. The friction between the 2 pieces of wood generates temperatures of up to 800 degrees Celsius at the point of contact. 800 degrees. Hotter than many domestic electric stoves get. Science calls this cellulosic pyrolysis. When wood reaches around 400 degrees, the cellulose fibers begin to decompose, releasing flammable gases and carbon particles that form a live ember. You transfer this ember to a nest of dry material, a tinder bundle. Blow on it slowly, and it becomes a flame. Think of it this way. It's the same principle as rubbing your hands in the cold, only concentrated on a spot the size of a quarter coin. All the energy of your movement goes to that point, and what activates the instinct to keep trying is that you see the white smoke rising before the flame appears. It's the sign that it's working. Every time that thick smoke rises, the brain releases dopamine. It's literally addictive. Apache warriors in training spent weeks refining their timing until they could get a fire going in under 3 minutes. Any weather, any condition. In the beaver hunting camps of the Pacific Northwest in the 1800s, the bow drill was standard equipment along with the rifle. Not out of tradition, out of pure necessity. Yucca dries in the Southwest, ignites with only 200-degree fires of friction, the lowest ignition point wood in North America. In the forests of Oregon and Washington, western red cedar works perfectly. In the Midwest, from Missouri to Minnesota, cottonwood is the favorite. In the Appalachians, Tennessee, Virginia, North Carolina, eastern red cedar and mullen are the champions. In any U.S. state, you'll find at least one of these woods within 500 meters of any trail. Now for the tutorial. Zero cost or less than $3. Materials: hearth board, 1 piece of dry cottonwood or eastern red cedar, 30 centimeters long, 7 centimeters wide, 2 centimeters thick. Found on any riverbank or forest. Cost: $0. Spindle, 1 straight branch of dry cottonwood or mullen, 30 centimeters long, 1.5 centimeters in diameter. Bottom end angled at 45 degrees, top end rounded. Bow, 1 sturdy, slightly curved branch, the length of your forearm plus your open hand. String, old shoelace, 50 centimeter paracord, or nylon dental floss. Cost, if buying paracord, $1.50. Socket, upper support. Stone with a natural indentation, or knot of a hard oak branch. Cost: $0. Tinder bundle, a handful of dry grass, crushed inner cedar bark, or cattail fluff. Found on any water's edge in any state. Shape: bird's nest. Hollow inside. Step 1. Prepare the board. Drill a shallow hole 3 millimeters deep in the board and cut a V-shaped notch from this hole to the edge. This V directs the embers away from the wood, straight to the tinder. Step 2. Assemble the kit. Wrap the bowstring once around the spindle. Left foot firmly on the board, right knee on the ground. Left wrist locked against the left shin, holding the socket at the top of the spindle. This locking is the detail that most beginner instructors ignore. Without it, the spindle slips and you lose all pressure. Step 3. Drill. Long, smooth, horizontal movements with the bow. Constant pressure from top to bottom through the socket. Maintain this rhythm for 30 to 45 seconds without stopping. When the smoke rises thick and continuously, another 10 to 15 seconds. Don't stop here. This is the mistake that ruins most attempts, stopping exactly when you're almost there. Step 4. Transfer. Gently tap the board. The ember falls into the tinder nest. Fold the nest around it. Blow slowly and steadily, like blowing out a birthday candle 30 centimeters away, until the flame opens. The secret that makes all the difference. The wood needs to be dry inside, not just outside. Test it by breaking a thin branch. If it bends without breaking, it's too damp. If it snaps dry and clean, it's perfect. If you want to boost the kit, you can add pine resin. Collected from the bark of any pine tree, from Maine to Oregon, there are pine trees everywhere. Crumble a little into the hole in the board before starting. Reduces the ignition time to less than 3 minutes. Tinder fungus, Fomes fomentarius, grows on birch and maple trunks all along the East Coast, from Maine to Georgia. Acts as a slow ember that lasts for hours. Great for keeping a fire burning on long hikes on the Appalachian Trail. Do you know why REI, Bass Pro Shops, Cabela's, and no other outdoor store in the U.S. teaches this in workshops that charge $150 per weekend? The American camping equipment market is worth over $3 billion a year. A BioLite fire starter kit costs $45. An Exotac Ferrocerium costs $55. A complete bow drill system with natural materials? $0. There's no profit margin in teaching that a cottonwood branch works better than their product. Best conditions for use. Relative humidity below 60%. Temperature above 40 degrees. A beginner can get embers in 5 to 8 minutes on the first try. With a week of practice, 10 minutes a day, it drops to less than 3 minutes. Works best with the same wood species on the spindle and board. Cottonwood on cottonwood. cedar on cedar. Avoid oak, too hard. And green pine, too oily for friction. And the mistake that ruins most attempts: stopping when the smoke starts. Exactly when the smoke becomes thick and continuous is when you need another 10 seconds. Stopping too early kills the embers before they form. Think about your next outing. While the others spend $55 on a fire steel that jams in the cold, you use 2 pieces of cottonwood you picked up for free by the riverbank in Shenandoah Valley, Virginia, Glacier National Park, Montana, or Coconino National Forest, Arizona. In less than 8 minutes, you'll have a fire. Your friends will ask for the secret. You decide whether to tell them. This isn't the romanticism of survival influencers. It's the knowledge that the Cherokee, Apache, and Ojibwe kept alive for millennia because it worked when everything else failed. And it still works today, while the market sells you the 10th variation of the same plastic lighter. Knowledge like this is priceless. And now you have it. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video.